أعوذ بالله السميع العليم البصير من الشيطان الرجيم من حمسه ونفخه ونفثه. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين، والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين، سيدنا وحبيبنا ومولانا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقه قولي بجاه الله، إنه يعلم الجهر وما يخفى. يا معلم آدم علمنا، ويا مفهم سليمان فهمنا، بكرامة وعلمك ما لم تكن تعلم، وكان فضل الله عليك عظيما. اللهم إنا نسألك أن تفتح علينا فتوح العارفين بحكمتك، وتنشر علينا وقايتك العظمى ونعمتك الكبرى ورحمتك الواسعة، وتعلمنا ما جهلنا وتفهمنا ما درسنا ودرسنا، وتذكرنا ما نسينا أو نسينا، وتنفعنا بما علمتنا، وتبارك لنا في علمنا برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين، بكرامة من أرسلته رحمة للعالمين محمد ابن عبد الله وآله وصحبه أجمعين، آمين. وبعد، إخوة الأعزاء أحباب في الله، السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. We welcome ourselves to the continuation of our discussion in Ramadan daily treats, Ramadan spiritual delicacies and treats in the garden of Hikam Ata'illahi as-Secondary. Today, being the night number 5 of Ramadan 1446, corresponding to day 6 in March 2025. So the theme for the aphorism for today is Tribulation leading to recognition. So what that means is that in concept, so many a times we need to be tempted with some things that we enjoy in order for us to recognize and appreciate them. For a good example, we only know the value of the eyesight that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has granted us for our whole life when we become 40 and above years, and we realize that we are in need of reading glasses or wearing glasses. At that particular time, a reading glass minimum amount will cost us a lot, and you have to constantly change the lens and the power and all that. So only that time we know that what we have been enjoying all these years was free of charge without paying anything. That is number one. Number two, we know the value of all parts of our body when one of the parts of the body aches or pains. Then we know that without the leg, we cannot move. Without the eye, we cannot see. Without the ear, we cannot hear. So all that all together make us what we are. We abuse ourselves, We don't appreciate our spouses. We don't appreciate our children. We don't appreciate what we have. For example, the time of COVID-19. So a lot of things that we have taken for granted before, we came to realize that they were actually valuable to us. Free movement, ability to go out and come back anytime we wish. Okay, so this is the theme of the aphorism 198 today. Okay, and in correspondence to that, we have ayah in Surah Al-Ra'd, where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, بعد أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم له معقبات من بين يديه ومن خلفه يحفظونه من أمر الله إن الله لا يغير ما بقوم حتى يغيروا ما بأنفسهم وإذا أراد الله بقوم سوءا فلا مرد له وما لهم من دونه من وال. Allah says, لَهُ مُعَقِّبَاتٌ مِّن بَيْنِ يَدَيْهِ وَمِنْ خَلْفِهِ. We have assigned to everyone, forward and backward, securities and guides that are preventing him from evils. يَحْفَظُونَهُ مِنْ أَمْرِ اللَّهِ, by the commandments of Allah. إِنَّ اللَّهَ لَا يُغَيِّرُ مَا بِقَوْمٍ. So Allah has done that. He has secured our lives. He has secured everything that He has given to us, our eyes, our ears, our thinking faculty, gripping, sleeping, waking up, and all sitting down, standing up, movement. Allah has granted us all the angels to guide and supervise us. So, by that was by the value and virtue of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, being Allah and the Creator. But again, what we are expected to do when we are granted all this is to be praiseworthy and to be grateful to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So when we are grateful, Allah says, La in shakartum la azidannakum. If you are grateful, then I'm going to increase you in good. Okay, but the problem is, wala in kafartum. If you do otherwise, then I will show you the other side of me. That is the concept of inna allaha la yughayyiru ma biqawmin. Allah is not ready to change the condition of a people. The bounties that He has given unto a people, hatta yughayyiru ma bi anfusihim, until they have changed or they relent in what they are doing that make them to deserve that by themselves. وَإِذَا أَرَادَ اللَّهُ بِقَوْمٍ سُوءًا, when Allah wants an evil to befall a people, فَلَا مَرَدَّ لَهُ, no one can stop that. There is no obstruction for that. وَمَا لَهُم مِّن دُونِهِ مِن وَالٍ, and there is no other person, there is no other one, other creator that can save them of that. So the point of this ayah here is, Inna Allah la yughayyiru ma biqawmin hatta yughayyiru ma bi anfusihim. Allah is not ready to change to otherwise the bounties that He have gifted to a people until they relent in doing what make them deserved of what they have been doing, that make them to get that by themselves. So meaning to say that we sit down, the ability to sit down and pray and communicate with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala itself is a bounty. The ability to hear the adhan and stand up, go and make wudu and go for salat, that is a bounty in itself. But if we do not appreciate that, so slowly we are going to have some things that are going to obstruct us. Then we will realize the value and the bounty that Allah has granted unto us. The ability to witness the month of Ramadan, to be granted health and sound, okay, sound health in our body, to be able to fast in itself is a bounty from Allah. So until you see those who are sick and yearning to fast the Ramadan, and the doctors are saying, no, you cannot fast, only that time you will appreciate what you have. So at that particular time, so you have children, they are troubling you, you are angry, you are cursing them, until you see people who are spending their whole life in IVL, then you understand the meaning of the bounty that Allah has granted unto you. You have a spouse that is respectable to you, then you are disregarding him or her. Then until you lose him or her before you know the value that you have you have lost. So this is the concept of the ayah, okay, and that is actually the point of aphorism 198, where Ibn Ata'illah as-Sakandari says, ربما وردت الظلم عليك ليعرفك قدر ما من به عليك. ربما وردت الظلم عليك ليعرفك قدر ما من به عليك. Subhanallah. Sometimes Allah will need to make you witness darkness. We make you to taste what is darkness, what is misguidance, what is misleading, what is procrastination in salat, in an act of ibadah. Allah wants you to taste those things, so that it will make you to understand the value of what He has gifted to you in bounties. Sometimes it takes something away from you to let you know the value of that thing. Only that time you pray unto Him fervently to grant you that thing back. Take, for instance, a very simple example. A husband whose wife was pregnant, and all this while, the wife was, oh, this side is paining, that side is aching, I cannot sit down, I need you to help me. Said, no, you don't be lazy, you have to do it by yourself. By the time when the time is ripe for the delivery, and the medics ask the husband to come and supervise the delivery, only that time, when he notices and sees the pain, only that time is going to understand and value the sacrifice of women in his life. So the point here is we need to appreciate everything that Allah has gifted to us before losing them. We don't wait until we lose the values before we recognize them. Okay, so that is the point of the aphorism. Now, literally, it says, perhaps Allah engulfed you in darkness so that you recognize the tremendous blessing of light, brightness that He has given you. Allah takes something away from you so that you will understand the tremendous blessing of things that He has granted to you. So we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to grant us better understanding of His word. So according to Sheikh Abdul Majid Ash-Sharnubi, in his interpretation, he says, ربما وردت عليك الشهوات والغفلات الشبيهة بالظلم. So sometimes, seekers of the truth, you may be affected by lust and heedlessness, forgetfulness, being carried away, which is similar to darkness. ليعرفك سبحانه قدر ما من به عليك من أنوار التجلي في أدرة القرب. So that is for Allah to show you, to make you understand the value of what He has granted upon you in the brightness of disclosure in the presence of proximity with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So by that, yazdadu shukraka inda ruju'u litilka hala. So you will increase in thankfulness and appreciation when you come back, when Allah returns you back to your status quo, حتى أبعدتها الشهوات. So then at that time, you will be able to avoid all lust. وتحرص على القيام بحق النعمة في جميع الأوقات. Then you will be keen on upholding the right of the bounties, the glorification of the bounties at all times. So poetically, he says, فما منهما إلا له فيه نعمة عليك له في مثلها يجب الشكر. So in either way, at the time that he gives you and at the time that he withdraws from you, both of them are counted as the time of mercy. When he gives you, and when he deprives you, he wants you to understand the value of being gifted. Okay, so they are bounties upon you. So lahum fi mithliha yajibu shukru. So you have to be praiseworthy and thankful to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So aphorism 199 tomorrow is going to buttress this, inshallah. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to grant us better understanding of His word. So the summary is, number one, as we said, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala does as He wishes. When He wants anything, He does it in His own way, and it's all able and all powerful. So on our own part as mortals, so if we do right, it is for ourselves. If we are wrong, it is against ourselves. Allah does not take any benefit in our worship, and it's not affected by lack of worship. Okay, so by this, the blessings of Allah upon us are uncountable. لَإِن شَكَرْتُمْ لَأَزِيدَنَّكُمْ وَلَإِن كَفَرْتُمْ إِنَّ عَذَابِي لَشَدِيدٌ. Okay? وَإِن تَعُدُّوا نِعْمَةَ اللَّهِ لَا تُحْصُوهَا. If you say you want to start counting the blessings of Allah, you will not be able to count them. So by this, the supplications for the night number 5, to observe 2 rakas of Qiyam at least, reciting Fatiha and Ikhlas thrice, and after the Taslim, you recite Subhanaka Anta Allahul Basiru Sadiq. Subhanaka Anta Allahul Basiru Sadiq. Subhanaka Anta Allahul Basiru Sadiq. You can read it anytime you like, but this is just 450 that is put in there, that is put there. If there are many importance in reciting it, one of them is that the observer will always be guided against evil eyes. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, by the virtue of His name, Allahu al-Basiru Sadiq, to guide us all against evil minds and evil eyes, evil-minded people, evil-eye people. إنه على ذلك قدير وبالإجابة جدير نعم المولى ونعم الناصر. So بهذا نكتفي إن شاء الله. We end the session for today here. وبالله التوفيق والهداية والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.